I got this injury. Sciatica was the easy way to put it. And it got worse and worse and worse. Constant pain.
And I remember I just started having a weird feeling in my knee. Next thing I knew, we got the diagnosis, which was osteosarcoma. The prognosis was an amputation.
Healing stories are never a formula. Though Jesus healed all who came to him, each miracle was as unique and personal as the faith of those involved. Such was the case for Charis Bible College director Terry Hall and his daughter Hannah, who are now walking pain-free, even though their healing involved two very different journeys of faith. This is the story about how God meets us where we are. This is the healing journey of Terry and Hannah Hall. This story begins with Terry being crippled by extreme sciatica, a condition of calcified bone pinching the body's largest nerve.
Probably not using good mechanics, I don't know, but I got a really severe back injury from lifting heavy things in awkward positions.
It went from, ouch, I got hurt, this was, I knew I did something, to he had to lay on his back to get any relief.
I was told by the doctor, we're going to try to rehabilitate you and we'll get you to where you can walk again, but you'll never be able to run.
He was the breadwinner. I stayed home with the boys. So at the time you're thinking, okay, how is this going to work?
It was 9, maybe 10 months, almost a whole year. Got to a pretty desperate situation where I couldn't work, had little kids. I would pray constantly, God, what's going on? Please heal me, please heal me. And it was getting worse every day instead of better. I'm lecturing God but I was mad at him because I thought he did this to me. He was maybe trying to teach me something, I don't know.
And so that was about the time my mom ended up coming in and ended up coming in with a cassette tape.
You've got to start realizing that you've already got it. Everything you're asking for, God has already put on the inside of you if you're a believer, and it's not a matter of you petitioning God and getting God to do something. It's a matter of you finding out what He's already done.
God is not responsible for what's happening to me. It's my fault. I changed the way I was thinking, and within 2 weeks, I was completely pain-free, completely healed.
From that one simple teaching, you've already got it, Terry defied his doctor's expectations and was walking pain-free within a matter of days. Now healed, Terry enrolled in Charis Bible College at his very next opportunity. Years later, that same healing enabled him to pack a moving truck to take his family to Florida, where he was asked to run the Charis location in Orlando. Though his healing process was amazingly simple, things would be more complicated when his daughter Hannah was hit with an aggressive form of cancer.
Usually I wouldn't have told anyone, because it wasn't really painful, but I kind of felt off about it. So I went and told my mom.
She started getting a swelling on the side of her knee, right below her kneecap.
Next thing I knew, we were going to go see a specialist.
At the time, I didn't even know what was going on with Hannah other than she was hurting. But it was just as anything, the Lord was just Mel, don't you be afraid. Just have faith. She's going to be made whole. But I didn't know, I thought it was, I didn't know how bad it was. The diagnosis was osteosarcoma. A tumor is what it is in her bone.
It was too big even to operate on at the time. The diagnosis was she was going to lose her leg. We need to amputate her leg, and quite possibly we'll lose her life.
Though Terry had experienced his own miracle, he understood that Hannah's healing would be different, and that her decision to receive treatment must be made not in fear, but in the peace of the Holy Spirit. Finding peace required faith, because they had been told that if they didn't act immediately, the cancer could take her life. Knowing that their daughter was spiritually mature, Terry and Melanie put their faith in agreement with hers.
And I said, Hannah, you heard the diagnosis. You know, they want to amputate your leg. What do you want to do?
So I, like, right off the bat was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep my leg. I ended up going through chemotherapy, but even like then they said that it would help shrink it, but they weren't really like sure if it would be enough.
When she did have chemo, we would just speak the words, you know, just that nothing deadly would hurt her.
For months, Hannah endured the chemotherapy, though there was no guarantee it would work. As her physical strength weakened, she kept focus on the promise that she was already healed.
She always saw herself as healed. Like, she would even tell me, Mom, I have dreams, and when I have dreams, I'm running.
When I went through chemotherapy and was in the hospital, they always would like provide these events for cancer patients, you know, they're going to Disney World, and I'd always would say no, you know, just because what I believed was that I was already healed, you know, so why would I do that, you know?
After several months, the tumor became small enough the surgeons were willing to try to remove it, but they would not make promises about the outcome. Before Hannah went under, the Hulls prayed for a supernatural operation with no complications.
We were there waiting for 7 hours after this operation, and the doctor came out at the end of it, and he was beaming. And he goes, I have never had an operation go that well.
Now again, there are different ways to receive healing, and God can do anything, and people can get healed. And we hear these testimonies, and if you aren't careful, it'll lead you into thinking that's the only way to receive from God. But the foundational way to receive from God is just through the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Even just like walking normal is actually like a miracle, really, because that's something they said, like you would walk with a limp, or you wouldn't be able to like just do normal stuff.
The doctor told me I would never run again, so I started running. Since that time, I've probably run the equivalent of back and forth across America at least 5 or 6 times.
Today, Terry and Hannah enjoy walking and running pain-free, completely healed. When they aren't enjoying their time together as a family or going to Disney World, they stay busy running Andrew Wommack's Charis Bible College, Orlando campus, with Hannah just now finishing up her first year.
Thank you, partners. Thank you for giving. It's changed not only my life, it's changed my wife's life, it's saved our children. It's been astronomical.
To our friends and partners, we want to say thank you for providing Andrew's teaching You've Already Got It to so many people in need. Because of you, a father and daughter have been able to overcome sciatica and cancer, each in their own unique way. A reminder that we already have our healing by the grace of God, but the Lord walks with each of us individually as we reach out to receive it by faith.